Hello, welcome back to another stream. Alpha Infected come out yesterday, just after... Well, technically it was before I uploaded the shop video. I did uni, I got in, I started making the shop video when the shop reset. And then I had to do food. And I forgot I hadn't uploaded the shop video. So it was like... It's like 7:30 when I got the shop video out. But it was done at like 10 to 7, but I completely forgot I hadn't done the tile and everything like that, and I was like, oh no! And so like I run upstairs. No, like sorry, I'd finished my food. I come upstairs, me and my girlfriend did, and I look at the screen and I see the shot, like the video's there, but it's like not uploaded, and I just go, oh, I uploaded the video, and then like I hadn't even seen the Alpha Infected come out until like after, and I was like, oh, I should probably update the pinned comment. So I haven't played it yet, so this is gonna be first impressions. In other news, the hot takes video. The audio's been recorded for that. I don't know how many of you actually follow me or have seen the post on Twitter, but the other day I put up a post that was like, give me your Halo hot takes, and I might cover some of them in the video. Post ended up kind of popping off, like it's got over 200 comments, which was a surprise. It was definitely a shock to the system. I did not expect that. So I recorded the video because like it feels like a bit of a missed opportunity not to. And that's about half an hour long, give or take. Might be a little bit less, might be a little bit... Also, sorry, Tim, I completely forgot to mention this, because, like, you know, I was not expecting to get one before the start of the stream. Thank you for the gifted membership. I really appreciate it. Anyway, so I recorded the video today. Out of, like, the 200 comments, I maybe got through, like, 12. There was a lot. There was a lot of comments. To be fair, it's like, there's some really good ones. There's some that I really want to talk about, so I spent quite a while talking about them. There's some that were very, like, similar. There was, like, a lot of people that were like, Halo Reach is the best Halo, or Halo 4 is underrated. And it's like, so many people commented that where it's like, is it even worth talking about it? And even if it is, do I want to talk about it right now? Maybe not. There are some that I'm specifically saving because I'm going to cover them in shorts because I think they're interesting topics and would like to cover them in a short. And then, again, because there's so many, if people enjoy the video and want me to make a second part, I will make a second part. But that is only if people want me to. If like, you know, if there's not really any level of interest behind it, then it's just one of those, I'll do the shorts and then that'll probably be it. It's not something I'll revisit for a good while. I'm not saying that, like, you know, I'm doing it for views because obviously I'm not. Obviously I'm not. I enjoy talking about this sort of thing. But at the same time, because it's such a time-consuming video, it's literally just a matter of if my time is better spent elsewhere, then I would rather spend my time doing that. If that makes sense. In other news, I got this the other day. I'm going to make a short that's like a review. Like, oh guys, look at this cool helmet I made. Not made, brought. I didn't make it, I brought it. But I brought this, like, so there's this like store near me. Oh my god, I need a haircut. I need a haircut so bad. Anyway, I saw it in the shop near me the other day, but it was like just before I had a uni lecture, and I was like, oh, I can't buy it right now because I've got uni. I'll come back Wednesday. I went back Wednesday, and someone had brought it, and I was like, so I was like, I'll just see if they have it on Amazon. So I ordered off Amazon, got it, and then I was like, oh, I need batteries. I don't think I've got any AAA batteries in. And then I kept forgetting to buy AAA batteries. But now, I have it. And I'm going to like show it off real quick because it's really cool. It's really, really cool. So it has like a stand that says Master Chief. I'm going to leave the stand there because, like, you know. But, like, look at that. Look how reflective that visor is. Like, just look how cool that is. That's awesome. Like, it's huge on my head, mind you, because it's like, I'm assuming to scale. So like, it's humongous on my head. But it also has lights. So that's really cool. Yeah, so big fan of that. Really, really glad that I brought it. Anyway, so that's gonna be in the background now. So yeah, as you can see, I don't know. Was the room rearranged for last week's stream? Or is this the first stream with the Current room layout. I want to say it was last week. You sit there. So like, yeah, the room's got a bit of a different layout. So some stuff's been moved around. So there's a bit more stuff you can see in the background now. Like the helmet, the Infinity Gauntlet, some of the Mega Construct stuff. Link is there too. I don't know if you can see Link. Ignore the stuff down there. It's kind of a mess right now. No, it's not. It's fine. It's fine. But it is kind of a mess. You should play with it on like Zanny does, dude. I would, but I literally can barely breathe. I don't know if that's like because of my asthma, but like if I put that on, I can barely breathe, and I can also barely see. Infection. Oh, it's got normal infection in here too. Yeah, we'll just take that off. We don't need to play that right now. Let's have a look at the maps list. Stage fright. Okay, that looks similar to, not visually, but like maybe has a similar layout to one from Halo 5. Pipeline. Plunderland. Okay. Recharge. Catalyst. Illusion. Forest is on there now. Okay. Yeah, let's just start the first game then. As far as snacks and drinks go, not that anyone's asked, not that anyone really cares. We've got a regular bottle of Coke. Don't know why I brought that, but I did because I was like, I kind of want a soda. I want a bottle of pop, and then I've got a lot of water, and then I've got some Maltesers in here somewhere. Maltesers are so good, man. I love Maltesers. Where did I put them? I found them. I keep telling myself I should stop buying junk food because I buy too much junk food. But then it's like, because I get angry, as most of you already know, I'm prone to bite my hand when I get angry. So I like to have something that I can like chew on that isn't chewing gum, because chewing gum isn't like chewy or crunchy enough. At least not regular chewing gum. But then I end up buying the snacks and I'm eating the snacks before I actually need to like rage. But even then, it's like, it's so funny when I start getting mad, I start just like stuffing my face with like chocolate, and it's just me like. So has anyone played Alpha Zombies yet? That's how my X sounds? What does that mean? I've started buying like Christmas presents and stuff. So it's just this like big tower that's like big. That's just like a bunch of stuff. Magpie, why do you always have to work when you're streaming? I don't know, man. I don't know. There's someone in this lobby on the original Xbox One. Because why is this taking so long to load? Also, I thought, damn, it's been too long since I flexed the Master Builder coating. Because I was just going to use the John Forklift fit from the video the other day. The I Major Spawns one. Damn, that actually looks kind of clean. That was cool. I was just going to use the John Forklift build, which this is almost exactly the same. But I changed the shoulders because those shoulders don't look very good with Master Builder. Too shiny. Master Builder's already a really shiny coating, but they were too shiny. And then I was like, yeah, it's been a while since I've used Master Builder, so I'm going to use that. Sorry, I do apologise. But also, I did end up getting the cranial lime coating because I actually didn't realise I didn't have it yet. And I do like it. I think it goes pretty well with my normal spawn. And it was only 150. I was like, screw it, why not? Wish I could get that coating. Do you think they'll have enough for the exchange? Probably not. Probably not. I would be quite surprised if that was the case. I might get that visor at some point, but I really should just save up for Haunted. One day the other players will load in, guys. One day. Slop, so true. Thanks, Kevin. No chance I'm wizard enough with Forge to get a map in rotation. Wizard is in, like, what they say in Star Wars to say that, like, that's cool, that's so wizard. Wholly insane reference. That actually doesn't look too bad with Hazmat and this coating and stuff. I'm not tempting myself to get the Molten Chrome bundle. No. Anyway. Yeah, I think with Forge, it's just one of those, you just gotta practice with it. Maybe find a group of people that'll, like, help you work on a map too. I mean, Diminish was a group effort. There was 4 of us who had done that. It takes time. I worked on a couple maps before I got into matchmaking. And even then, the only reason Diminish is a matchmaker is because I worked with some incredibly talented people. They, like, Avil did most of the heavy lifting, and Whale did such a good job with the lava. So, like, I really can't take all the credit. I could probably take, like, 7% of the credit. Diminish reminds me of Mistral. That's because that was partially some of the inspiration. We actually have a little Easter egg on the map that you can't see in Husky Raid because weapons do not spawn on the floor. Or rather, like, you know, where you put them. There's 2 Easter eggs on Diminished, but, like, you would have to basically get out of bounds to find them. One is also incredibly dark. Why is it not loading? I have no idea. The game does not want me to play. Goodbye, XP boost. But yeah, we have 2 Easter eggs. One is a Mustafar related Easter egg. But the inspiration, because, like, originally it was just me and Abel working on the map, and it was actually our initial plan was to remake Edge from Halo 3, but specifically on Master Chief Collection. I guess from Halo Online, we were gonna remake Edge. But it was going to be where one side was all, like, lava and melted down and stuff like that, and then the other side was, like, this lush jungle. But it was kind of hard to make both look good. So we ended up just going full lava, and then it was like, how about we don't make an Edge remake? And instead make a Husky Raid one, because 343 at the time, that's when they posted, like, oh, we're bringing Husky Raid back. So we ended up doing Diminish instead, and, like, we were looking at, like, the preset that 343 had set up, and we were like, yeah, we can do something different. Which, to be fair, I think most people did. That was more the preset just basically existed to be like, here's kind of what a Husky map looks like. And then Abel did do most of the heavy lifting. Like, I'm not gonna lie, Abel is such a legend in that regard. I helped with some, like, background stuff, because I didn't want to mess with his flow too much. So I was mostly on, like, concepting side, and, like, background stuff. Like, I implemented an Easter egg, I placed some of the big rocks and, like, background elements that you see. Oh, it's one of the new maps, okay. Okay. And then the inspirations was Mustafar, there was something else. Also, we kind of wanted it to look a bit like Vader's castle. And then also the lava part of the map on the center map for Ark. No, I haven't changed my FOV. It's regular, bulldog, and sidekick. Intriguing. Oh, and the zombies don't have camo on this one, do they? Oh, we have thrusters instead of threat sensors. Okay. Okay. Zombies are slower too. Do they have shields? Please tell me they have shields. They don't have shields, do they? Brother did not touch me! What? Oh, whatever. Yeah, okay, they don't have shields. Clearly it's not an issue for anyone other than me, I guess. can't tell if they're normal speed or if they're slightly faster. Do I have Alliance turned off, or they just... Okay, yeah, cool. The normal infection is camo, that isn't too... I think the normal... Huh? So the infected have no equipment or anything, so why do the humans have thrusters? That's really stupid. But that zombie, like, literally did not hit me. I shouldn't get so hung up over that. But he didn't, to be fair. How's the scoring work? Because it's still just, you get score passively. Shut up, dude. I'm, like, trying to check something. Leave me alone. Oh, my God. Okay, I think you just get score off kills. Which is good. It means people can't just... I mean, camping all game, you're still going to get more kills, but, like... What? Anyway. This seems like an improvement. I've got to play more first. I'm a bit worried it's going to be... like, just reach infection. If I'm being completely honest. I got killed by a bot. I shot killed by a bot. In fact, you got 15 points per kill too. And the AI takes over, so true. You're so lame, dude! Okay, it might just be reach infection. It might actually just be reach infection. Bro! Their entire team is just camping. And half of my team is bots! You're so lame. You're actually so skilled. You're actually so skilled. Just sat in the corner with a sidekick. You're so good at the game, dude. Actually incredible. Sidekick starts for infection. It's so stupid. It should have been the bunny rifle. Yes, let's give all of the survivors a really spammy weapon. Yes, that's a great idea! That's a great idea! So these guys might have been playing since yesterday, so they might already know all the spots. Yeah, but there shouldn't be any spots. There shouldn't be any spots. In some ways, it's absolutely an improvement, but in some others, it's a huge downgrade. The infected have been nerfed so heavily, they should at least have, like, thrusters or something. I don't understand why the humans spawn with thrusters. And sidekick starts for infection are kind of lame. There's a one shot to the head, and also it's got a pretty damn, like, quick rate of fire. I mean, yeah, like, for someone like me who can't aim, then it's like, you know, it's fine. But most other people can't aim, so. But I really don't understand why humans were spawned in with thrusters. That just seems like a very bizarre choice. Oh. Okay. There's one shot to the head, I just caught him. I'm about to run out of ammo, like. I mean, the limitation on ammo is cool. Well, that's good. I don't know if there's weapons you can... Oh, there is ammo boxes still. Oh, it's empty though, isn't it? Oh, no, it isn't. Okay. I should have picked up for the sidekick instead, but... What? Whatever. Finance starts to be better. It absolutely would be. But it has higher accuracy, but it's got such a slow rate of fire. People camp extra hard. I don't really think it'd change that much. It's not like the maps are like super long range. The gap in between those shots gives the infected a more of a chance to close the distance. Don't get me wrong, I appreciate having the thruster, but we really shouldn't. Really should not. That makes it just so easy for me to evade certain stuff like that. Like, dude, it's too easy with the sidekick! I didn't Everick. I'm just gonna camp true. 10-7 now on God. Okay, okay. I like that people saw him and pinged him, but did not shoot him. See, like, the thrusters are so lame. I actually would have been able to catch up to him, but no, he's got a thruster. They might make changes next week, sure, but I honestly doubt it. It took them, like, this long to actually make any form of update to the infection playlist, so... Aside from, like, new maps. But... Like, that's the problem. Like, it just makes playing as the infected really unfun. There's nowhere near as much, like, strategy or anything like that involved. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not a huge fan of regular infinite infection either. But, like, the infected stand a chance in that mode. They have things like the shroud screen that can, like, when people do crap like this, there's counters. But what's the counter here? We just have to hope enough of us run in at the same time and that someone can land a hit. If the infected had thrusters too, then again, it wouldn't be anywhere near as bad because you could use the thruster to get in or evade shots. But instead, you just have a bunch of people sitting in a room who have thrusters themselves, and there's no countermeasure. That's really, like, that's bad. That's bad. Not the mode as a whole. In some ways it's better, in some it's worse. And the areas where it's worse, it's much worse. I will play a little bit more. But, right now... I think thrusters should have... I think infected should have thrusters as they had evade and reach. Yes! Yes, the infected should have thrusters. Love when Jeff says job security is a lie. Same map? Straight away? It's nothing against the map either, it's just like, give me a different one. You know, I've played this one already. How many star infector is it? 2. I'm assuming it's 2. Who's got the ammo before me? Ooh. What made you decide to use that helmet? What, Eclipse or Yokai? Like, as in the one that's, like, represents the channel, or the one that I just put on? How about both? Okay. Eclipse I'm just using right now because I made this build for the last I Made Your Spawns video, the one that went up a couple days ago, and I just think it's a decent build. Like, I just kind of like how the spawn looks. And I think Eclipse is a decent helmet. It's cool with its skull attachment, and in general, it's a nice, like, fishbowl EVA type helmet. And I like that it can be used with Trailblazer's attachment. But also, it's like, I spent money on it, so I might as well. As for Yokai, this looks cool. It's such a weird case, because, like, I'm not, like, a massive fan of Locus, and Yokai is obviously, like, a samurai remixed version of Locus. Sorry, mate, I have a thruster. It makes it too easy for me. It's just like a remixed version of Locus. But I just kind of like the sort of, like, demon helmet. Like it just looks good with the samurai armor. And honestly, it's grown on me since then. Like at first, it was just like I want this helmet because it will look good with my samurai armor, and then it's sort of grown. It's grown on me so much more since then. And I think like the reason it's like my profile picture and stuff, because Yokai isn't my favorite Halo helmet. Like my favorite is the Mark 6, but that's Master Chief's helmet. Like I know that's a bit of a generic answer, but like the Mark 6 is my favorite helmet. But like I say, that's Master Chief's helmet. That's not my helmet. That's not anyone else's helmet. That's Master Chief's helmet. I know there's other characters that use it, but I will always see the Mark 6 as Chief's helmet. And that's why my profile picture used to be the Mark 6. It was the Mark 6 for quite a while. I had 2 different Mark 6 profile pictures. And like for a while it was like also just Master Chief. But Yokai is a bit more like unique. Like I feel like for some people now, and I promise this isn't me trying to sound like egotistical or anything, but now when some people see Yokai, they do see it as like my helmet. Like some people see that helmet and think of me, which is really cool. Like that just feels cool. The fact that some people see this helmet and they associate that with me, and that's why I think another reason it's sort of grown on me more, because it's very quickly become my helmet. It is not like a character that already exists. There isn't a character really that exists in canon that uses that helmet, which means now when people see it, they just like sort of associate it with me. Not everyone, because let's be fair, it's not like I have some like huge audience in comparison to the entire Halo community, but in general, like I can look at that and like, you know, that's my helmet. My people that I'm friends with, they look at that and like, that's Leon's helmet. Now, even like Halo Bucks, he showed me this like Yokai mask that was added to Sea of Thieves, and he was like, oh my god, it's literally you in Sea of Thieves. So it's like, I don't know, it's cool. So I think that's the reason I still use Yokai, because I just kind of associate it as like my helmet now. It's like I know with some other helmets, like there's obviously people that use like ODST and Firefall. I mean, Firefall I think is unique enough. Like that's a new helmet. Like obviously Halo Box uses Firefall, and now most of the time when I see Firefall, I can associate that with Halo Box. With people that use the Mark 6 or ODST. I don't know if you're watching there, but there's of course no shade towards you, I promise. But like, it's harder to associate those with like a person, at least for me, because like we've seen characters that use the helmet. So it's like when you see ODST, like that's the ODST helmet. But yeah, Instant Map twice or something to do with often. How you doing, Johnny? I did that pistol run Haunted on my Flood Infected spawn, and when I go back to Classic Reach on MCC, I just use my spawn from Infinite. Just not Infected, obviously. That's fair. Yeah, I mean, I think that's another reason, like, I just love Halo's customization so much. Not even just specifically Infinite's. I love, like, Infinite's probably my favorite in regards to customization, 100%. But just in general, I just love this game's, like, Halo's customization. I want to say, like, every single time I played a Halo, the first thing, or anything that's even akin to Halo, like, it's so, like, Halo's customization is so engraved onto my brain now. If I play a game that has customization, it will be the first thing that I look at. Before I even play the game, before I touch anything, I go straight into customization. How you doing, Starman? But, like, yeah, you know, like, that makes me, I get to make characters. Even if it's not like a character that I give lore to or a name or anything, I can make all these different characters or like just armor that I like. I love you, Mantle. I love Clambe. I love mantling onto something and then I can't attack someone because I'm stuck in an animation. Oh wow, Luke, they're already discovering new little camping spots. I wanted to slide. Why did you just crouch, dude? Playing as the Infected on this version stinks. It's much better as the Survivor, but it is so unfair. That is why most rounds are being timed out instead of the Infected winning. And, like, okay, cool, it's great the Survivors have a better chance. I don't know. I don't know, Starman. It's cool that the Survivors do have a better chance, but the thing is, it doesn't feel balanced. It's like, normal infection, it feels 2 in favor of the Infected. This infection feels 2 in favor of the Survivors. There's just some huge gap. It's so annoying because it shouldn't be that hard to balance. Survivors do not need sidekicks. They do not need thrusters. Give them a bandit rifle instead. Yes, it's more accurate, but the slower rate of fire allows the infected to close that gap, so the survivor can't just... I know that Sidekick's rate of fire has been nerfed, but it's still incredibly quick in comparison to some of the other precision weapons. And on Infection, where the infected do not have shields, where they can die incredibly easily, it feels too powerful. And the survivors do not need thrusters. They do not need some kind of mobility item that lets them evade the infected's attacks. Because it's not like the infected are incredibly quick like they are in normal Halo Infinite Infection. So the survivors don't need a thruster. So, like, realistically, you either... There's a few approaches here to balance out. Remove the thrusters, because they don't need them. And then you either make the infected quicker, give the alpha infected specifically camo, or give the infected some kind of mobility item or some kind of equipment to close that gap. If the infected still had shroud screens, that works against camping, because when people are sat up there like that, it's harder for them to see where the infected are coming from. They don't have threat sensors this time. So the shroud screen would feel a bit more balanced. As long as the infected only have like one and it's just the alpha infected. Or give the infected thrusters. So the infected can close that gap. So they can charge towards you and deal damage. Which, again, gives the infected a nice little advantage. Or take the Halo 4 approach and give the infected a little bit of shielding. Maybe that can come at the cost of giving survivors more ammo. But there needs to be something in place to balance it, to close that gap. Because right now, this feels way too in favour of the survivors. And normal Infinite Infection feels way too in favour of the infected. Most of the time. It depends what map you're on. Because some of the maps are insanely busted for survivors. Because there should not be sentry guns on Infection. Not infinite sentry gun anyway, it's insanely powerful. But yeah, I think, like I say, in some ways this is better, but only really if you're playing as a survivor. Like, I have, like, quite a decent amount of ammo, and I can just spam. Like, I can just spam the trigger. At the end of the day, if you miss a shot with a bandit, like, there's a bigger time gap between those shots. It gives the infected a chance to close that gap, which is what is desperately needed here. Like, I know when I'm still dying and stuff, like, it's not like I'm, like, some, like, god at the mode. But this is way too easy for the survivors overall. I won! So, like, it's so easy, it's so much easier for survivors. It's still fast, lol. Yeah. You want real challenge? Use the sidekick. Just use the sidekick. I mean, I guess that would make it more challenging, but it's not like everyone else is just using the sidekick. Would you rather have playable elites or playable brutes? Elites. I love the brutes, I think they're really cool, but I do prefer the elites. Brutes would be cool for, like, some kind of specific game mode, though. Like, if there was a mode. Like, imagine if, hypothetically, specifically for Juggernaut, the Juggernaut is a brute. Everyone else is a spawn. But as soon as you become the Juggernaut, you become a brute. That would be really cool. You must think what about the best version of current races? Reach's elites are without a doubt still the best, but this game has some of the best brutes and elites in both design and how they behave. Yeah, I played a little bit of Fallout 76. I don't know if I would say Reach has the best. Are we talking, like, behavior? Yeah, I guess Reach might have the best in terms of behavior. I don't know which one I prefer design-wise. I really like Reach's elites, though. Reach's elites are really cool. Reach elites are really cool. I think my favourite is probably between Reach and Infinite for the elites. Reach brutes No, nah. The behavior wise, they kind of stink, and visually, they're also not great. I feel like I know that guy. I swear he had the Master Builder going on too. I like that he doesn't have the 30-second timer thing too for last man. This game was actually originally going to be a hero class shooter, so playable breach. Oh no, it wasn't a hero class shooter in the way that you would think it would be. It was so it was more of a class shooter. So it wouldn't have been like, it would have literally just been, you had the sniper spot and you had the heavy spot and you had the assault spot, and not how he plays characters. If that were the case, and it was a hero shooter where, like, not for Infinite but as a spin-off game, if we had a Halo spin-off game that was like akin to like an Overwatch type game, where you could play as Master Chief, you could play as Aatrox, you could play as the Arbiter, like something like that would be amazing. I think that would be a really, really fun spin-off shooter. As a mainline Halo game, that would be kind of lame, because people will want a traditional Halo multiplayer. But the way that Infinite was, it was more of a class shooter. It wasn't going to be where you could play as different characters or different species. It was just like, you'd have the heavy spotting, you'd have the stealth spotting, and they'd have different light loadouts and stuff. A bit similar to what Splitgate 2 is doing. How many people can you have in Infection lobby? Is it 4? Do one more game of Infection, then we'll get people into the lobby. We're like an hour into the stream, and I haven't done any custom games with, or like any matches with people yet, despite this being a community game night. But yeah, I think I would like to see playable leads come back in the next game. I mean, 1, it's something fans want. 2, it's more ways that 343 Microsoft Halo Studios and Microsoft can monetize the game. So like, it benefits both. 4, it just adds more variety. Like, you know, overall it is just a beneficial thing. Because although yes, Elite cosmetics will not sell as well as Spartan cosmetics. As much as people will try and argue that they will, they won't. Like, I've said this before, and people just argued with me because they didn't believe me. People care more about Spartans. On average, people associate more with the human character than they do the alien character. I love Elite. I think they are incredibly cool. However, even in games where I can play as the Elite, like Halo 3 and Halo Reach, I still choose the Spartan. Because at the end of the day, I can imprint myself on that character. It's harder to do that on an Elite, because they're less human. And that's not to say you can't stall. You can relate to Elites, because they still have very human characteristics. But like, overall, it's easier to associate yourself with a Spartan. And overall, the Spartans, I mean, to be fair, maybe it just stems from Spartans always having the better customization. Reach, you can only change the colours, and like, you know, Halo 3 just has less choices overall. Halo 2 Anniversary has less choices overall, I think. So it's like, maybe it stems from that. But overall, people care more about Spartans, because they are viewed as the good guys too. Like that, even when Elites are your allies, Spartans are always also still viewed as the good guys. So again, people care more about Spartans. But at the same time, if hypothetically playable Elites were in this game, and they sold an Elite armor set on the store for 1,500 credits or 2,000 credits, people are going to buy it. Not everyone, but people will buy it. And I don't think it's going to necessarily sell as well as certain Spartan armors. Like, let's say, in the game, the base Elite armor is the Elite Miner, or whatever the banished version of it's called. And then there's some free Elite armor that you can unlock maybe from the exchange, maybe from operations and battle passes, and that would be like your Elite Ultra, your Elite General, maybe Jaegers. But then they sell the Arbiter armor kit on the store for 2,200 credits. A load of people would buy that. Even if some people don't even plan on playing as it, but a ton of people would buy it. Or if they sold Jaeger as an armor kit, or if they sold like some of the armor from Master Chief Collection, they brought that back and sold that on the store. People would buy it. And although I don't think those sales necessarily would be as high as Spartan armor, overall, I still think they would sell well. Miss Photos, that's fair. What if they made AI playable through scripting? Maybe. I'd buy a main Halo 2 Anniversary Elite Armor. Like, I'd probably buy Elite Armors, and then I'd probably only play as it, like, once. For me, the reason I would like playable Elites or Brutes is because it would work really well for Machinima stuff. That is one of the main reasons. Not the only reason, but, like, that is one of the main reasons I would like playable Elites to come back. Because it would be really cool for Machinimas. Because although you can do it via the, like, the AI through Forge and stuff, it's also such an annoying thing to set up that just being able to play as an elite and be able to customize it the way I want to and be able to have elite characters, that would be much better. So the Halo 2 Master Chief armor will just be an armor kit and $22+ in the store. It'd definitely be 2,200, and yes, I think it will be a kit. If it's a core, then it'll be free, but do we think it'll do it as a core? I would love it to be a core. If it's a core, that'd be phenomenal. If it is an armor core, that will be phenomenal. That would be, if we lived in a perfect world, it would be an armor core. Because that is what I want. And then they could sell Halo armor from Halo 3. But I don't think we're that lucky. You know, Jig is still alive. His body cloak. Yeah, I know. I think, to be fair, it's like, he's the only banished boss not referenced in past tense in outside kind of media. I think it's one of them. They left it really ambiguous. So if nobody cared about Jaeger, they could just be like, yeah, he died, rest in peace. And then if people do like him, it's like, oh, well, he just went camo. Chief didn't beat him. That means he can come back. So I think like that's maybe one of the reasons they left it ambiguous. But of course, Jaeger is a very popular character. He's like one of the main, like, you know, people love Jaeger, and for good reason. He's cool. He's a really cool, really cool antagonist that I would like them to flesh out more. And of course, because he supposedly isn't dead, which makes sense. We only saw his body camo. It means they can bring him back, and hopefully he does get more fleshed out. I think a sword duel between the Arbiter and Jaeger would be incredibly fun and awesome. So if, like, hypothetically, Halo 7 or Halo 8, whatever, like, you know, no, sorry, my brain is shutting down, dude. Yeah, so when Halo 7 inevitably comes out, if we maybe go back to something like Halo 3. If we go something like with Halo 3 and Halo 5, where you play split characters throughout the story, and one of those characters is the Arbiter. Like in Chief Submissions is the Arbiter. Now, I feel like realistically, it makes more sense for Jaeger to act more as a rival to Chief, and that is what I would like him to be. Because the only other person that they could have made a Chief's rival, being Escharum, is dead. They can also make Atriox a rival to Chief, which I'm also completely fine with. I love Atriox. I do feel like the Halo Wars characters need to be involved. If Atriox gets defeated, the Halo Wars characters need to be involved in that in some capacity. I feel like it would be really lame if they're not, because he was introduced in Halo Wars. So I feel like those characters need to play a part in that story. But if Jake is to come back, I would prefer him to be a Chief rival. However, seeing him have like a sword duel with the Arbiter would be like it would be elite. It would simply be elite. This map is very campy. This is really unfun to play as the Infected on. Playing this Infected stinks in this version mode. It really, really stinks. It gets annoying in regular Infinite Infection. It does get annoying because, of course, like, again, you're incredibly weak. But, like I say, there's a bit of strategy. It's pretty easy to win as long as your Alpha Infected doesn't, like, eat rocks for breakfast. This is some fun. I was believed the game centered around the Arbiter and style God of War 4-5 with Vale taking the place of Atreus would be absolutely perfect. That'd be kind of cool. That'd be kind of cool. I wouldn't be opposed to like some kind of like Skyrim-esque RPG either. Assuming to reach Elite's customizable in MCC like they said they would. Yeah, thank you, Microsoft. Imagine Jaeger gets the Jewel and Dharma treatment. I don't think he will. Although if he did, it wouldn't surprise me. What the Magpie doing? A bit of coward. You're gonna play BTB? Yeah, after this game. This would be the last infection game. I've played enough to form an opinion on the mode. I was here first. Why are you punching me? Oh. They know we're here. Was he trying to jump on my head? No. Yeah, he's run off because he knows they know that we're here. Is this lame? Yes. Oh, okay. So the survivors get 5 points per kill and the infected get 15. I think in regular infection they only got 10. This is better. The scoring is better. The scoring is more balanced. Because 1 infected kill is worth 3 survivor kills, which should be the case because the infected are much easier to kill. Like I said, in some ways it's much worse. I think playing as the infected overall is just much less enjoyable. It's just incredibly painful. Especially on a map like this, where I can easily camp there, people can camp on top of those towers, and they have no form of like mobility item, no thruster, nothing to shroud the vision like a shroud screen. And also like the survivors have sidekicks, which have an incredibly fast rate of fire. This mode would be better with bandit swords and the survivors not having the thrusters and the infected having it instead. I think overall, that would make the mode more balanced. I'm playing Grunt Fiesta since they made it infinite ammo. Oh, damn. You think Halo Machinimas, or at least the style of storytelling that showed Rise of the Spawns, would ever have a good enough resurgence and match popularity it had back on Reach? I don't know. I mean, obviously, I do machinima stuff, Halo Box does machinima stuff, I sometimes work on other machinimas with, like, Makoime, Mark Madness, obviously you've got, like, you've got shows like Crash, like, you know, the machinima's still there. Like, I wouldn't say it's particularly thriving in a sense. I think some machinima shorts do really well. I know Makoime have had a few that have, like, got, like, around about the 1k mark. Like, some of their stuff has done... no, sorry, not 1k, like 1 million. I want to say they've had some machinimas that have done, like, 1 million. And I've had a few that have had, like, tens of thousands, which is cool. What? Protect me, protect me, protect me, protect me! Thank you. There's another one there. That's awesome! What the hell? Can the infected do that? I'm assuming not. If the infected can do that, that would be a cool little counter. I know you're here, dude. You're not the sneaky snitch. Wow, I died instantly. Okay, cool. Perfect balance this whole thing should be. So true. Was that last round? Please be the last. I'm starting infected. 343 Halo Studios has been doing that kind of machinima on their trailers at least. Yeah, they've been doing like machinima shorts, which is cool. I think that's a nice little fun way to promote new events and stuff. I don't know about like big machinima. No, I mean again, Halo Box has done some. Crash does like, you know, it does decently. The infected can. Huge. I still think that's like incredibly campy and lame, but yeah, that's still cool. There's golden sandwich in that. Ooh, how do you unlock that? I like when maps have Easter eggs. That's really fun. There's another skull down here. Let's play it down here as well, like. Yeah, let me just take you down. Oh, you're so lame. You're actually so lame. Please, load the skull. Load the skull. Load the skull. Someone grabbed it. Where did they take it? Where did they take the skull? Huh? It tells you where to take it. Why did he run over here with it? What the hell? Me, when I'm handed away to deal with the campers at the top of the map, I'm going to run away with it. It's actually so unfun playing as the infected in this version. Actually, it's just reach infection, but slightly more bearable. Oh, get out. At least you can sprint with the skull. Leave me alone. Should have just let me do my thing. Yes! That's awesome! That's actually awesome. Is there a Mortal's plan? Real? When Infinite get an actual ship or add an actual ship or forge? It's forge. It's forge. Yeah, okay, we're gonna do BTB now, so if people want to start joining the lobby. What if it's one shot? Maybe? I mean, it's cool that it just knocks them off to minimum. Which perfect side Halo game? Personally, I'd love an XCOM style Halo game. The Survivors of the Infinity or the Pillar of Autumn. That are a game where we play as the Flood or Gravemind. That's a good one. My ideal one, I'm honestly not sure. Because, like, for me more than anything, the main thing for Halo that I enjoy is the story. So it's like, in regards to new Halo games, I just want a continuation of Chief's story. That's the main thing I want right now. Obviously, I did do that video a couple of weeks ago. I can't even remember half the stuff I spoke. I would like the Flood survival horror thing that a lot of people always talk about. But my ideal way of handling that would be, you play as Marine, and you are either stranded somewhere or you're tasked with basically like wiping out some kind of Flood hive. You're deployed under a spawn, like you're with a spawn. It could be spawn 2, it could be spawn 3, it could be spawn 4, I really don't care. But you're with a spawn. And like the mission goes incredibly wrong. That spawn is infected. I know that like some people commented, they were like, no, that can't happen. That can't happen. And it's like, you're so boring. But like if hypothetically everything goes wrong, the spawn is infected, they are now a Flood spawn. And they almost act like, if you think like Resident Evil, like a Mr. X type threat. They are a reoccurring presence that will hunt you down. They're incredibly skilled, they're incredibly strong. It shows, 1, how strong the spawn is, 2, how terrifying the Flood are. And if there's a threat that's like constantly pursuing you, alongside fighting Flood-infected Marines, Grunts, Jackals, Elites, Brutes, which would also be incredibly strong, but the main threat is the spawn. Even if they're not the strongest thing in the game, having them act as this like Mr. X pursuing threat, like the energy shield's still active and stuff like that. And you have to just rely on resources that you gather through the game. That would be really cool. Like, let's say at the beginning, you have a flamethrower and some other modified weapon that is specifically designed to deal with the Flood. And you find through, and you're going to run out of ammo really quickly. So then you're just relying on other stuff you pick up. You have to use needlers, you have to use spikers. It'll mostly be like maybe Covenant weapons or like whatever random weapons there, depending on the setting of the game. If it was something like that, but also make it co-op, because co-op horror games are fun. Even if it was just 2 players, that'd be cool. And then also give it a COD Zombies-esque firefight hybrid multiplayer mode. And maybe even your Marine can be customized. Like different pieces of Marine armor and stuff from prior games, and then if you reach like the max level in the game or complete the story on Legendary, something like that, you'll not ODST armor. That'd be cool. That would be like incredible. That would be my ideal Halo spin-off. It'd still be a first-person game, I would say maybe they could get away with doing it like third person action game, but I would probably say still make it first person, but having you play as like a marine, and like it's not like where they make the guns weaker or anything like that. Guns still function the same, but the problem is that you will mostly be using equipment that is not handled to deal with a flood. Maybe there can be some like normal things throughout. Maybe you can find an elite that has somehow survived the outbreak, and they're working with you for a portion of the game, but until like they inevitably die or something like that. That would be so cool. That would actually be so sick. And then, like, you know, I don't know, maybe at the end of the game, you survive, you get out, maybe someone comes in to save you. Like, that, oh, it'd be such a fun spin-off game. It'd be such, like, the whole, like, I mean, a lot of people say, like, oh, flood horror game, and it's just, like, most of the concepts that people come up with are just kind of, like, okay. But, like, if it was, like, took some inspiration from, like, Resident Evil, having that constant pursuing threat, have a flood-infected spawn as the main antagonist. That would be the final boss. That would be this constant pursuing thing. That would be phenomenal. How do you feel about quick play being mainly Fiesta and One Shot Slayer? I don't play quick play, so like that sounds kind of lame for people to do, because I'm not a huge Fiesta fan, but I don't play quick play. Is anyone joining? No one's sent a request. I don't think, unless I'm stupid. Did I miss it? No. Okay. I'll just hop into a PTV, man. Is my boost team selective? Nope. Oh, it is. It's got 4 minutes. I actually believe flood-infected spawn should be called Leviathans, since that was the first fire team to ever get infected. I mean, come on, Leviathan would be a perfect name for an infected spawn. That would be really cool. 456 should have been Jerome Isabel, then bring Chief back after Chief. I don't agree. 3 ends on a cliffhanger. People would want to know what happened to Chief. Isabel and like Isabel didn't exist by the time Halo 4 come out, or Halo 5 for that matter. I know a lot of people want the torch to be passed on to Jerome. If it's going to be passed on to anyone, that makes the most sense, but I also don't think the torch needs to be passed until Chief's story is concluded. And I know a lot of people say, like, oh, Halo should have ended at Halo 3. That was clearly never the intention, because the game ends on a cliffhanger. Chief is put into cryosleep at the end of the game. He would just be floating in space for all of eternity. And I think that would have been a really lame place to leave it if he was just left on Halo 3 and then we just never got to see Chief's story continue. That would stink. That would actually stink. Maybe I'm just saying that as like Chief's #1 glazer, but that would actually suck. But I would love a spin-off title about Jerome and Isabel. Whether that be even just a side story, like a DLC in Infinite or the next game. Like, let's say Halo 7, The Endless comes out, and main story, Chief's, like, Halo Infinite story is continued. First DLC, Jerome and Isabel shows what's going on with the Spirit and Fire, maybe over the course of the events of Infinite, or during the course of the events of that game. Maybe during the main story, Chief meets up with Jerome, and this shows how those two stories connect. That would be cool. We finished the fight with Chief. Infinite's probably the best written Chief, not gonna lie. Yeah, Infinite's Chief, like, writing-wise, is incredible. But I mean, like, obviously we haven't finished the fight. There was always a new fight. Obviously, yeah, I mean, from the context of Halo 3, the Covenant are technically defeated. The Flood are technically defeated. But it's funny, because, like, people always just, like, beg for the Flood to come back. But then those same people are annoyed that we had to carry on fighting the Covenant. Realistically, the Covenant was huge. It spanned across galaxies. There was always going to be splinter factions, whether they be the Covenant we find in Halo 4 and 5, or the Banished. I know they're not necessarily a Covenant splinter faction, but they splintered off from the Covenant originally, so... having splinter factions makes sense. Now, if hypothetically we rewind a bit and the Banished were the antagonists of Halo 4 and 5 too, that would be great. But unfortunately, obviously, that wasn't the case. It was the Covenant. But I'm not opposed to the Covenant being the antagonist. I would honestly like it to have been in Infinite if there was the Covenant and the Banished in the game. I know there's concept art that indicates that was potentially going to be the case at some point, because having the Covenant and Banished fighting alongside you fighting them would be cool. The torch should be passed once Chief's story wraps up. The only issue, the voice actor for Master Chief can't keep voice acting forever, and 343 Halo Studios takes ages to release games. That is absolutely true, and that's something I'm very concerned about. So that's not even a topic. I'm not going to get into that too much right now. But yes, I do believe the torch should be passed on eventually. I know a lot of people are like, yeah, they should kill the Master Chief off and give him an honourable death. I think that would be really lame. I do not think they should kill Chief off at all. I think he should get to retire and live the rest of his life. He's basically been fighting for like 40 years. I think killing him off would be stupid. I genuinely think killing him off would be such a dumb thing to do. Like, yeah, I get giving him this like hero's death and stuff, but I just think killing the character off would be really lame. It would be really lame and spiteful. But I would like him to pass the torch on to the next generation, whether that be Jerome and he takes the mantle as the main character because obviously he spent so long in cryo sleep he hasn't really aged. As much as Chief, he's not as old as Chief. But if it was passed on to Jerome, or maybe the next main character is a Noble 6 type thing where it's a Spartan 4 that is your own character, I think people would be okay with that too. Because that's like you become the main character then. And I think that's something that some people would be okay with. The Covenant didn't actually own the whole galaxy, they only controlled the Orion Orb. I don't mean that they controlled the whole galaxy, I just mean the Covenant were an extremely big faction. They were an extremely big faction that spanned across a large portion of the galaxy. Not that they owned it, but they were a very big faction. So realistically, it makes sense that there would be splinter factions. I mean, we've also seen like the Heretics in Halo 2, like, you know, factions splintering off from the Covenant and other versions of the Covenant existing makes sense. Because again, very big faction. Not kill Chief, we don't need a Last of Us 2 level discourse in this community. We've been through too much, exactly. Noble 6 is cool, but you don't get raw voice lines like you do Infinite Chief. Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, I think that's the thing. Realistically, no matter what characters Halo introduces, they are never going to be able to create a new character that is as popular and as well received as Master Chief. They are never going to create a character that is as beloved as Master Chief because he is a character that's been around for such a long time. He's been the face of the franchise for such a long time. Even if they replace him with someone like the Arbiter, it's never going to be the same. So whether or not they replace him with Jerome, whether or not they replace him with an entirely new character, whether it's Locke, whether it's Buck, nobody's realistically ever going to be able to replace the Master Chief. And again, I know I'm saying that as like Chief's number one glazer, but that is just a factual statement. It just simply will not happen. Some people might like other characters more, but I think realistically everyone knows that no one's going to replace Chief. Now, I don't think giving players their own character, not like specifically Noble 6, but someone that fits that archetype of being, you know, sort of a faceless character that the player can project themselves onto, I think that's also fine. Like I'm not opposed to that. I think that would be pretty cool. I might suck. Oh, I clipped him with that one. Damn. Where did I get hit? Oh. Damn, I almost actually turned that around. Noble 6 should have survived. I feel like if Noble 6 survived, that would have diminished a bit of Reach's story. Should have been revealed at the end of 4. He survived, so he could have haunted Chief in 5. He could have at least replaced Tanaka. She's honestly was boring in 5. Nah, I don't think Noble 6 should have survived. I don't think Reach's ending would, like, realistically, you reveal Noble 6 survives and Reach's ending loses all of its impact. The whole point was, like, you know, Noble 6 kind of, like, alongside Noble Team, not just 6, but everyone that died on Reach, essentially, like, you know, it shows that their sacrifice wasn't for nothing, because, you know, eventually they win the war. And that's how it should be. That is how it should have been left. I feel like, yeah, I mean, Tanaka I don't think was a super engaging character, but, like, I think that falls more so on the writing. I don't think, you know, sorry, I've been yapping so much today. I don't think having Noble 6 be one of the characters would necessarily improve the story. I love heavies. I love heavies so much. I love everyone having a battle rifle and I can get beamed halfway across this big open map. Yay! It's so fun. It's so fun. But yeah, I'm not opposed to them introducing a new character that acts as a vessel for the player. or eventually having the mantle pass on to someone like Jerome or some other character. That character just needs to be well written or relatable enough for the player, because otherwise people aren't going to care, because it's going to be very, 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 very difficult to replace Chief. I'm so close to just quitting. I'm so close to just quitting this match and taking heavies out, because I just do not find this fun anymore. The heavies specifically, I hate battle rifle starts on BTB. On infinite BTB, because this battle rifle is just so, like, so effective. It's so efficient. Have they got our flag or have we got theirs? Oh, they've got ours. Cool. Cool. Yeah, yeah. Oh! Oh, it's so fun! It's so fun! God! Let them just cap the other one and get it over, please. I think I've got 0 kills. 0 kills. That was a headshot. That was such a clean headshot. What's your favourite weapon coating if you have one? I don't think I do. I kind of flip-flop between weapon coatings very often. I like black and green, but that doesn't mean I like every black and green weapon coating. I think it's because, like, some weapon coatings look so much better on certain weapons. They've got camo on there. Finally, a kill. They got a scorpion out of base. Was that what that giant explosion was? I have no idea where I flagged. Yeah, they won. Thank God. Thank God, dude, because I didn't want to spend any longer in that match. That was actually torture. Oh, battle rifle starts in BTB is so lame. If I could have one character be brought from the dead, the 6 Imperial Admirals like time, seeing a 12-foot, but somehow only 300-pound elite as a rival source I can see that would fit. True. Yeah, that was a really fun game. I thought I had 1 whole kill. 1 to 5. I get really tired. I ask Halo Box if he wants to stream for last bit of the stream. Because I'm so tired. I can't do all the yapping anymore. But I am enjoying this conversation. We're having a lot of really good conversations today, which I appreciate. It's always nice to just yap. But I am yapping so much I'm forgetting what I'm yapping about, if that makes sense. I'm level 16 in the event pass now. Cool. Oh, I got the code through now. So I'm hyped for the new Doom game. New Doom and Halo are the only FPS games I can enjoy. Yeah, I'm excited for Dark Ages. I just hope it has a decent multiplayer. I liked the concept of, was it called Battle Mode? I can't even remember. Whatever Eternal's multiplayer was. I like the concept, but like the execution was kind of doo-doo. Give me 2 seconds. Yeah, okay. I kind of like that. Let's do... 216 a minute had a more classic Slayer than Halo 5. Yeah, I think it was pretty fun. What's your opinion on the whole For Honor series books lore? I honestly adore the books and love the direct as a character. If anyone has the protagonist of Halo, it would be him. Sad Epitaph ended him. I'll be honest, I haven't read them, but I've looked into them, if that makes sense. I've watched like videos and stuff about it, which I know is not the same as reading it, so I'm not going to pretend to have all of this knowledge on the character. I have enough to know vaguely what I'm talking about. So I have more knowledge than just Halo 4's campaign. I promise. And I do like the dialect. I think he's a fun character. Let me just... Heavies, nah. I'll leave on heavy CTF. But I think from a lore perspective, it's really cool. I think the dialect is a cool character, and everything I've heard about, I never hear anything negative about those books. And from the stuff I've seen about them, it's cool. Like, it's cool stuff. Like I say, I do really like the dialect. I think he is a really good character. He does remind me of like Halo's Darth Vader in a way, which is cool. And I know his powers aren't the same or like the Force, but it always kind of reminded me that way, the way that he like threw Chief around the room and stuff, and with his intro in Halo 4. So I've always seen him as like Halo's Darth Vader, which, he's so cool. I wish he was in Halo 5 and Halo Infinite. Originally I thought the Harbinger was going to be the didact, because the actual textbook definition of the Harbinger. But yeah, it's kind of sad that he's like dead now for serious this time. Because remember, I read through Escalation. I've read through like the first half of Escalation because I have the collection. But I have the collection with like the annotations. And there's the comic with Chief where he fights the didact, where the didact just emits so much Doctor Doom energy. I know that comic gets a lot of flack. I think it's kind of fun. I enjoy it. But again, Master Chief's biggest glazer. I know a lot of people don't like it because of the way it characterizes the didact, and also because it kills off Black Team. Now, the Black Team thing, for me, because again, I don't really know a ton about the characters, doesn't bother me too much. I guess I can see why people would be annoyed, and I guess why some people might view it as lame, because it's like, okay, these characters that we've sort of like grown attached to have just been killed off like that. However, I also don't think it's that big of a deal. The characters that were introduced in a book died in a book. Maybe they should have a bit more build up to death. Maybe should have actually shown them fight the didact, like a bit more. But overall, I think that comic is cool. I like that comic. I like Chiefs in the didact fight, and I like that Chief like sort of outsmarts him and stuff. But I remember reading the annotations, and it was like the didact could return someday, and I was like, that might mean he comes back in Halo Infinite, and then he didn't. And I was like, that might mean he comes back to later date, and then he did. But then it was like a book, and it was like, yeah, he's dead. And it's like, oh, okay, that's, it's cool. Like, it's a cool book, but also kind of, technically when he force pulls the Chief in for he's looking at himself, Librarian gave Chief the Isodidact gene song, which the Isodidact is kind of a clone of the didact. It's very complicated. Yeah, I'm aware. Also, it was kind of cool, like, when the Librarian was like, here you go, Chief, have this, like, power-up, which wasn't really a power-up, but it was like, now you won't explode when the didact composes you. I feel like they honestly didn't do enough with that. I'm not saying they should have given like Chief superpowers or anything, but Okay, I got shot with two. I think 2 tracking rockets, so that's cool. I love getting in the Wasp and getting one shot. It's really cool. It's really fun. Because like there's nothing you can do. Oh look, it's heavies CTF. I didn't think we'd get straight into another heavies game. This might be enough BTB for tonight. I'm going a different mode. hit marker. Cool. Someone got Scorpion gun? If I can't have it, you can't. So I'm going to take out Banshee, because I'm kind of worried an enemy player will. Bro started a rocket launcher and immediately turn around. That's insane. See, I knew an enemy player would start making their way towards it. Wow, I got one shot again. Magpie, destroy the enemy team, and my life is yours. I will try. I will try my best. How you doing, Digion? All Foreigners, the YouTuber, Pancreas, no work, did a great vid series on pinning the Halo factions against the galaxy of Warhammer 40k. Pointed out the Foreigners technology is insanely good. I'll be honest, I've got like no thing on like Warhammer. I can't say it's particularly something of interest, but that sounds cool. I do really like the Foreigners though. I know a lot of people are like, it takes away the mystery. Takes away the mystery of the Foreigners. And yeah, like, I guess it does to an extent, but the Foreigners are cool. Like, they have a lot of cool lore surrounding them. I like learning more about the Foreigners. I think they are cool characters. I'm glad they're their own species and not just humans. Because don't get me wrong, that would have been like, wow, what a twist. But at the same time, I feel like if they were just humans, and it was revealed that the humans, again, that would take away just as much mystery. Because it's like, oh, well, now we know exactly what they are. Okay, now I'm curious how they built up the society. I'm curious how they were so advanced and then they kind of just, like, they fell off. So, like, you know, but again, I like that the Foreigners as characters have been developed. As a species, they've been developed. I think that makes them really interesting and, like, you know. I'm not going to get into the whole human Foreigner debate today, because I really don't want to. But, point is, I like the Foreigners. I think they're cool. And I like when they show up. That's why I'm kind of like miffed the Didact died as quickly as he did, because it would have been cool to have him serve as a rival to Chief. Maybe even eventually become an ally. Like, that would have been nice. That would have been really nice. If the Didact was evil in Halo 4, and then he was kind of evil at the beginning of Halo 5, but then by the end of Halo 5, he's working with Chief to take down Cortana, that would have been sick. That would have been sick. That would have been amazing. But obviously that isn't the route they took. I'm not going to sit there, like, you know, holding on to it. There's still things about Halo 5's campaign I enjoy. But, like, at the same time, there's some decisions where it's like, I feel like they could have made this better. Especially when you see that like, cyborg Didact concept art. Oh my god, I'm garbage, dude. The Foreigners are so cool. Where are the 5 runners? True. It's been great talking to you, man. YouTube's algorithm gave me your channel during my lunch break, and it's just about over. Have a great day. God bless. If I catch you in Infinite, I'll go easy on you. No problem, Josh. Thank you, man. Oh, and thank you for the gift, dude. I really appreciate that, dude. It's been a pleasure. Right. Okay, easy. Huge. W gift. On God. On God. How you doing, Luz? Magpie, do you have a favorite zombie game? Mine is Dying Light. Favorite zombie game? Oh, Resident Evil. Cool. Is Resident Evil still considered a zombie game? If it is, Resident Evil. Thank you again for the gifted, Tim. What the hell? Since when was that my YouTube name? Yeah, W Josh for real. Yeah, Resident Evil. Damn. Resident Evil's such a funny one, because, like, I played the Resi 2 remake when that... No, okay, actually, my history with Resident Evil goes further back than that. So, the Resident Evil 6 demo releases. I see this big, giant zombie monster in the trailer for Resident Evil 6, and I'm like, that is one of the coolest things I have ever seen. I play the demo, it is one of the most enjoyable things I have ever played. The game actually releases, and I'm like, oh. I play a little bit of the game, and I was like, this is kind of garbage. And I never played it again. I was probably, when did Resident Evil 6 come out? I can't remember, but I was young, and I was like, damn, this isn't great. That's kind of disappointing. And then that was basically it for a very long time. Resident Evil 2 Remake comes out. I'm game sharing with my cousin at the time. I'm at his house. We start playing it together, and honestly, I wasn't that interested. There was a lot of backtracking and stuff, and it was very puzzly. And honestly, I think at the time I was probably just terrified, but didn't want to admit it. But yeah, it was just kind of like, I wasn't that interested. Resident Evil 3 Remake comes out. I've always found Nemesis to be an extremely cool character. I actually always thought that like Nemesis fought Leon Kennedy, and I didn't realize he didn't, and I was kind of disappointed to find out that he didn't. Cool. Yeah, I saw the pigeon shock rifle too. That's great. That's really cool. I like that I cannot use any vehicles on this map on heavies because they just get one shot. That's really fun. So yeah, Resident Evil 2 Remake, wasn't that interested. Resident Evil 3 Remake, really enjoyed. Obviously, I had no prior experience with the series outside of Resident Evil 6. So, the Resident 2 Remake was like... What? Why was he phasing around like he's doing instant transmission? Okay, that's fine. Someone up here. Oh my god, I love getting one-tapped! I love having nothing I can do to prevent it. Anyway, Resident Evil 3 Remake comes out. Really enjoy it. Nemesis is really cool. Really enjoyed it. Wish Nemesis pursued you a bit longer. Kind of like, it feels a bit anticlimactic how quickly he's kind of like... He chased you around for a bit. It's really terrifying, and then he's like gone for like most of the game, and just shows up for boss fights. Fast forward a couple years later, Resident Evil 8 comes out. Not super interested in playing it, but I watched Slimesicle play through the entire game, and I was like, this seems fun. This seems cool. But I also don't care enough to play it. But my parents were like, you should play Resident Evil 8. I was like, okay. I don't really want to. And then they're like, we got you Resident Evil 8 for Christmas. And I was like, oh, okay. Played it, really enjoyed it. They were right on that one. Like, it was a lot of fun. Resident Evil 4 Remake gets announced, and I'm like, this looks good, but I'm going to wait until Christmas and ask for it as a Christmas gift. And that is probably one of my favorite games. That was so fun. That was such a fun game. Definitely my favorite Resident Evil game, which for a while is still the Resi 3 Remake. I enjoyed the Resi 4 Remake so much that it gave me such an itch to carry on playing Resident Evil that I went back to the Resi 2 Remake and felt really stupid because I was like, why didn't I complete this game originally? Because this is a lot of fun, and now I really like Leon Kennedy as a character. I thought it was cool anyway. Like, I always really liked him despite never really caring too much for Resident Evil. But that like escalated. It was like, damn, this guy's neat. You should be dead. That was 6 shot. Oh, this is a normal disruptor. I thought it was calcium one. My bad. Okay. Let him cook, but I ain't eating it. Young man, finally untrue. But yes, so I went back, completed the Resident 2 Remake. Really enjoyable. Had a lot of fun with it. Glad I went back to it. Mr. X, absolutely terrifying. I ended up beating the game, and then I did through like the second run as Claire. I played through like first playthrough as Leon, did second one as Claire. But I was only doing it to see like the other cutscenes and stuff, so I did have like an infinite ammo like minigun and rocket launcher because I was like, dude, as cool as Mr. X is, I cannot mentally put up with that again where he's constantly chasing me. Bear in mind that was this year. I was like, no, it's too scary. But I went back through. Again, really glad I did. It was really fun. Even with an infinite ammo rocket launcher, it was just like funny, just obliterating things that I struggled with before. Like seeing Mr. X show up and just being like, nope, you're dead, and just like shooting like 7,000 rockets at him. Please do not let a shot at me. You're kidding me! You're actually kidding me! I gain one shot every single time! Still second on the team though. I'll take it. But like, oh, this is actually aggravating. I hate playing heavies now. W from Magpie. Yeah, it's so true. Oh my god. Am I about to get one shot again? Am I about to get one shot again? Am I about to get one shot? I'm moving. I'm actually moving away. Oh, Marpie and Magpie. I get it now. Sorry, I'm stupid. That took me a second to process. Look, guys, I got one shot again. I got one shot by a scorpion cannon. I love getting one shot. Thank you, Josh, for subscribing. I love getting one shot. It's so cool. It's so cool that every time I fight someone, they have some kind of power weapon that kills me in a single shot. Isn't that awesome? Even when I'm fighting someone else, I get one shot by a different player. How cool. How awesome. Hooray. I'm having so much fun. I expected that, but I just showed the Rocket Hog, so I did what I wanted to do. We love being completely defenseless from the enemy team. Real. And it's going to go into overtime because no one's kept the flag. Which, like, to be fair, I also have not exactly been attempting to do that. But that is because every time I leave my spawn, I get one-tabbed. Where was I? Yeah, so Resident Evil 2 was the most recent one I played. I do kind of want to go back through Resi 4 soon. But I also want to go back through Spider-Man 2. And through Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom again, because like I was in a uni lecture and they were using like Breath of the Wild as an example for something, and then I just heard like the shrine music and it filled me with nostalgia for a game that I played, like replayed like last year, because I replayed it before Tears of the Kingdom came out, but I'm like so nostalgic for it again already. But I also want to replay through the Halo games, because every single time I like listen to Halo music while I'm on the bus on the way to uni, I'm like, I love Halo so much. I was doing my hot takes video today, and I close it out on one that was like, every Halo game is good. There's no such thing as bad Halo game, and I got like really emotional. And I'm like, this series is like my favorite thing ever. Like, you know, there's not a single game that I dislike. I love all of them. Sure, Spawn Assault and Spawn Strike aren't exactly my cup of tea, but like I like, this is my favorite series. And also Halo Infinite like changed my life, and like blah 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 blah. So that was like that was an emotional roller coaster, something that was like just like a silly hot takes video. Rip for no Spider-Man 2 DLC. True. Maybe you can stream snipe. Nah, that's it. Yeah, the lack of Spider-Man 2 DLC might be my 13th reason. I don't know what the other 12 are, but that might be the 13th. That one really hurt. I do think it's because of the leaks, and the leaks do suck. Like, you know, it really sucks that people like leaked all the plans, and I do think that might partially be the reason that the DLC was cancelled. Here's to hoping the Venom game still happens. I'm not intercepting that in time. If the Venom game still happens, maybe some of the stuff that was planned for DLC is being repurposed for the Venom game. But even then, given how Spider-Man 2 ends, I don't know if a Venom game is still possible. I really enjoyed Spider-Man 2. I loved playing through that game. It is a poor adaptation of Venom. It's a very poor adaptation of Venom, but the game was still a lot of fun, and I still think Venom was cool. I just don't really think he was Venom. Some of the decisions made for Peter in that game were also questionable. Miles was fine. I can't really think of any complaints with the Miles stuff. Some of the stuff with Peter was like, you know, but you know, it was a fun game. It's a fun game. Really enjoyed it. Do want to play through again because I haven't done New Game Plus yet. I hope the Venom game was. I hope the Venom game is real. Venom was close to Riot from the first Sony film. True. Yeah, he just wasn't really Venom. Like, he didn't have much of a personality. It was kind of just like Harry, like, we're going to heal the world, and then Venom was like, yeah, we're gonna heal the world, buddy. And then that was kind of it. And no, Eddie Brock even mentioned, like, hypothetically, again, given how the game ends, I would assume that Harry is not going to be Venom in the Venom spin-off game. But it also made it seem like the symbiote died. I'm hoping that's not the case. Part of it survived. They might reveal that in the Venom game. Maybe you play as Eddie Brock right at the beginning. You're like a reporter and you're doing some kind of investigation, a bit like in the movie. And that's how you come into contact with the symbiote and you get a more Venom-esque Venom. Maybe because Eddie Brock has some good values. That sort of imprints the symbiote a little bit more. And he's like, maybe I don't want to be evil anymore. Or maybe the ending of Spider-Man 2 severed his connection with Null and he's feeling less evil. I think there's a lot of ways they can go about it. That they could make it make sense, they can make it work, and make a good adaptation of Venom from what was otherwise a very poor adaptation. So I think Peter Corrupted Symbiote, I don't think this version of Peter did. I very much think it's the connection to Null. Given you described it as Venom. I know, but like, I just want lethal protective Venom. Because, I mean, I thought Harry's Agent Venom suit was kind of cool, but it was also like, this doesn't make any sense, but it looked cool. But it also didn't make any sense, but it looked cool. But I don't think this version of Peter Corrupted Symbiote, but then again, I also guess he wasn't really evil when he was working with Harry. It was when he was imprinted on Peter when the symbiote started to go bad. But I would like to assume, given the symbiote hive and like all that sort of stuff, that it very much seemed more so it wasn't really Peter, it was Null having an effect on it. I think that's what was implied during that game. Sorry, what was I saying? So not hackers on MCC, possibly in Infinite. I don't think there's hackers in that game, I just think I suck. Spider-Man 2 and Halo Infinite Wife should have complete stories. No, I mean, not exactly. Like, at the end of the day, if you want to make a trilogy, you don't want the story to be concluded on the second game. I know technically it was the third, if you count Miles, but, like, that's a spin-off. That was the first Spider-Man game, took my breath away first time playing it, better story than 2. Yes, the first game has a better story. I still really enjoyed the second game, but the first game has a better story. Hang on. The dialogue from Harry talking about how hearing his mom in the tank made me think that the symbiote was always manipulative. So, exactly. That's what I mean. I would like to think it's like something to do with Null, because again, they took that route. Like, they didn't outright say Null is real, but there's very much that implication that he exists. So I would assume that played like a part. The final fight with Doc Ock and Spider-Man 1 was peak. It was. I also really enjoyed the final fight against Venom. I think it was a very like emotional fight. Like, the music was so good. However, I do also think the anti-Venom stuff was kind of stupid. I know when I first played it, I was like creaming, because I don't mind the anti-Venom suits. I thought it was kind of cool. I thought it looked decent, and the build up to it, I was like, oh my god, they're actually doing anti-Venom. That's kind of cool. That's interesting. I did not expect that. I enjoyed that, but I also think it would have made more sense, instead of doing anti-Venom, if they wanted to go like, oh, Peter is like screwed against Venom, he's that strong, then have him fight alongside Miles like you implied in all the marketing. But instead, it's 2 phases as Peter and 2 phases as Miles. It's really dumb. It's a really stupid decision. You could have just done it where it's multiple phases, but you switch between Peter and Miles where they're fighting him at the same time. That's what it should have been. They didn't need to do the anti-Venom. It could have been Miles and Peter, because they already showed like Miles' electricity had an effect on the symbiote. So they could have done that. Spider-Man PS4 is honestly my favourite Spider-Man and Spider-Man story, better than Tobey's Spider-Man. That's fair. I don't know if it's my favourite. But I love that first game. I really enjoyed the second one. I don't love it as much. Like, if I'm putting like the first game as like a 10 out of 10, the second game I probably hold like maybe an 8.5, 9 out of 10. In terms of how much I enjoyed it, not in terms of how good I genuinely think it is. It's like, last year, Tears of the Kingdom was my game of the year. Spider-Man 2 was very close, but Tears of the Kingdom was my game of the year. I really enjoyed that game. Also, the cover-up in Some did for taking from Donny Cates' run was whack. Yeah, that was insanely stupid. Hearing about that was really lame. I hope they kind of learn a lesson for the next one. Spider-Man Null Way. The stuff I'm hearing about, like, how they plan on making Null the villain for the Spider-Man MCU movies is really stupid. I hope that's not the direction they take. But yes, so I enjoyed Spider-Man 2. I would like them to bring Venom back, but make him act like Venom. They could literally just have it where the final fight at the end of the game, the big blast that killed off all the symbiotes, severed Venom's connection to Null. And then if they wanted to, they could lead into Null being a villain. Because surely the symbiotes aren't done. It would be incredibly stupid if they were, because there's an entire side quest leading up to Carnage, which was, of course, going to be the DLC and also supposedly the main villain of the Venom game. So that DLC was supposedly going to lead into that game. Now they might be scrapping the DLC, because fingers crossed, that's all being saved for the Venom game instead. And the original leak suggested that you would play as Venom, Miles, and Peter. So it would be Spider-Man 2.5. If that's the case, that's fine. Like, you know, I won't be too upset that the DLC's gone. If they want Beetle to be a villain in the DLC, if they want some kind of Spider-Verse or Venom-verse thing in the DLC, and then in the game, like if that's the route they're taking, okay. Is that the greatest decision ever? Maybe not, but like, you know, if they give Venom some kind of redemption and he acts more like Venom, then I'm okay with that. Because I actually really like Insomniac Venom's design too. He looks cool. He does look really cool. And Tony Todd's voice for Venom is phenomenal. He actually does such an incredible job voicing the character. Like I was quoting that in my mind like every day. It was great. I hope Venom is fun at the very least, because he was very limited in Spider-Man 2. Yeah, he was. But, oh, dude, that segment when he gets to play as him, that was one of the most, like, enjoyable things I'd ever, like... I was just so hyped. Because I know there was all that discourse on, like, whether or not Venom was going to be playable. And then, when the cutscene happens, I was like, oh my god, we're going to play as Venom. Oh my god, we're going to play as Venom. Oh my god, we're going to play as Venom. Oh my god. And then, like, you actually do, I'm like, and it was so fun. It was so fun. It was limited, sure, but like, oh, it was such a power trip. I just kind of hate that he doesn't get to swing. Like the fact that he just has no web swinging. The movies are the same. It really annoys me. Like, please let him swing. I don't care if it's tendrils. I don't care if it's webs. Let him swing. But yeah, I hope they still end up making a spin-off game. I hope they haven't cancelled that, and I really hope the reason the DLC's been canned is because they're saving it all for the spin-off. Because, man, I need me some more Spider-Man, and I need me some more Venom. Damn, I kind of brought that myself. You gonna watch Venom 3 tomorrow this week? I'm gonna watch it on Friday. I think that's when it releases over here. Yeah, give him chains if you can't handle the whimsical webs. True. I need to read some of the Dylan Venom stuff. I need to just read more comics in general. I just kind of rely on videos covering all the comics for me, because it's just so hard to find the time to actually read them and acquire them and to catch up on everything, because there's just so much. Poop. Golden Freezer? But yeah, I'm kind of hoping... I mean, I'm very, very skeptical about Venom 3. At worst, I'll probably still find it fun even if it sucks. But, I'm concerned, to say the least. Especially with Null being in the movie. Because I like Null. I think Null's cool. But I'm concerned. Very concerned. But I'm hoping that they use Null as an excuse to give Venom the logo on his chest. Because I know it was, like, explained, I want to say, in Kingdom Black, that it's like, no, the logo on your chest isn't a spider, it's a dragon. And it's like... Or, like, Venom specifically was, like, a combination of the dragon and the spider. Which I think's kind of dumb, but because of that, realistically, that gives them a way to have the spider on the logo without implementing Spider-Man. I'm very sick of Spider-Man movies without Spider-Man in them. I'm getting very sick of the Sony verse having all these Spider-Man characters, and Spider-Man is just not involved in any capacity. Spider-Man is my favorite Marvel character. I know that's like a generic pick. I love Spider-Man so much, dude. I will show my Marvel Legends collection in a second if I have to. I love Spider-Man. I really, really love Spider-Man. I know some people would tell me I can't because I haven't read enough comics, but I love Spider-Man. He's awesome. And Venom is also, like, I want to say top 5 Marvel character too, which again, I have, like, quite a few Venom figures and stuff like that. And that love for Venom has grown so much more in more recent years. I can't remember where I was going with this. Like, it's just gone. It's so hard to yap about things while playing a game because I just forget what I'm talking about. I cannot focus on both. Give me 2 seconds. I will read le chat. I know there's someone around here. Where's he? I do want to say the Spider-Man 2 game, the soundtrack. That Final Fight music is like, oh my god, dude, it's so good. It's so good. Right, okay. At worst, I'll find it fun, even if it sucks. Guaranteed every Venom film. It's like Venom 2. I remember watching that for the first time, and I was like, that was amazing. Carnage was so cool in that movie. And then I thought about it for more than a week, and I was like, that film kind of sucked. They really butchered Carnage in that film hard. Like, the whole, like, oh, they're not a perfect Bond, when, if I'm not mistaken, the whole reason that Carnage is such a threat is because Cletus and the symbiote are such a perfect Bond. You know, and the symbiote also being really strong is also kind of a problem. Yeah, that was definitely a choice. I need Sony to give me a Silver Sable film. I'll let Craven, and 15% of Madam Web slide. I'm never watching Madam Web, dude. I hope I never have to. I hope it never has any importance to the greater Marvel universe, because, dude, everything I've heard about that film just stinks. It just stinks. But I'm, like, semi-looking forward to Venom 3, because, again, I like Venom. I'm gonna, like, tilt the camera up. So, like, I don't know if you can see it in that corner over here. So, like, the top row is almost entirely Marvel Legends. There's an SH figure art Spider-Man up there, too. And then you've also got, like, my Godzilla collection, like, on the right side. So, like Godzilla collection, random Xenomorph Spitter, because he looks cool next to Godzilla's. And then the rest are all Marvel figures. Half of these figures are entirely Spider-Man characters. Whether those be variations of Spider-Man, Carnage, Venom, or other related characters. I have I've lost count. I have a lot. Her web connects them all. What are you talking about, real? I've got a Moon Knight there, right at the front. I like Moon Knight. He's cool. Dijon, I know you hate the Moon Knight show. I know you hate it, and I get it. I found it fun, and at the time, I had little understanding of Moon Knight. I knew he existed, and I knew he looked cool, and I knew vague things about the characters. Okay, about the character, and I thought, and like, you know, when they announced the show, and when I saw it first, I was like, that's cool, and I watched the show and I enjoyed it. But now looking back on it, although I still found the show fun, and if I rewatched it, I'd probably still enjoy it. I can fully understand why, as a big Moon Knight fan, you would hate the show. And I get it. I did like his suit, though. I did think the ending fight was kind of stupid. Yeah, you just don't get to watch the ending fight. You watch the big kaiju fight instead. I said that someone really likes kaijus. I've got a couple Iron Men. I like Iron Man, I guess. They're just cool figures. You know, sometimes you're just gonna buy something because you think it's cool. There's how many Venoms do I have? 1, 2. I want to say I've got 4. I've got King and Black Venom. I've got 2 like classic Venoms. One's the 85th anniversary one. One is the Riot 3-pack, and then I've got Space Knight Venom. I've also got Mania, and then I've got 2 symbiote suit Spider-Man. I've also got Null. Instead of holding the all black, he is currently holding a Halo Ravager. Why? I don't know. But the ending fight is that he passes out and then it's over. GG's. That's a wrap. Yeah, that was really stupid. It was like, on the one hand, part of me was like, that's kind of cool. Like, you know, he's so strong and awesome. But then it was like, can you not show me the final fight? I feel like I've barely seen him do anything this entire show. I've got a Destroyer up there. I've got Thor. I've got 2 Dooms. Blade, Daredevil. I want a better Daredevil figure. I like the one I've got, but the articulation's kind of poo-poo. Got a lot of Spider-Man. I've got the SH Figure Arts Final Swingsuit. Such a good figure. Such a good figure. My girlfriend got me that. Phenomenal. I need more SH Figure Arts Spider-Man. I have a lot of Spider-Man. I'm running out of room, really. I've got a couple Carnages too. I want movie Carnage. It's like, I know a lot. There's like a bit of a stigma against Marvel Legends because it's like, oh, just buy Figure Arts. I could just buy Figure Arts. However, one Figure Arts is like Figure Arts Carnage is like 200 quid. I could get 8 Marvel Legends Carnages for that price. So I'll occasionally stick with the Marvel Legends. Take them down to break down a wall and extend your room. No, it's okay. My parents were talking about it the other day. So in between the shelves, we're putting another shelf here. So like, you know, it'll just go in between the two. And then on the wall next to it, the shelves are going to be extended and go around. We're just going to have to move the Halo display. But I'm going to have more room. I'm getting more figures. I can assure you that. I'm a 21-year-old man who spent all of his money on figures. And I guess on stuff for other people too. Why do I look so short all of a sudden? What have I done? A bit more room on the desks. But they're mostly for Halo Mega Constructs and Gundams. Never watched Gundam, mind you. I have like 8 of them. And then I've got more Halo figures down there. I have a few Funkos. Most of those were gifts. Just probably like 60%. You know, like when you just see something and you're like, I like that character. And that's a cheap collectible. Oh, my friend got me a Halo Spider-Man Nendroid last year too. It is the integrated suit, but it's still really cool. It's the only Nendroid I've got, but it's nice. It's got surprisingly good articulation. John Magpie, you're shorter than I expected. Oh my god. You need to watch Gundam, Leon. It's so good. On my life. I might. Watching Dragon Ball at the minute though. And then I need to see Transformers 1. I do need to see Transformers 1. But no one will go to theatres with me watch it, and I don't really want to go on my own. So I might just have to wait for digital release. I do want an Optimus Prime figure. Again, I know it's a generic choice, but Optimus is probably my favourite Transformer. I find in most franchises, series, I tend to... I don't know if it's some kind of like main character No, I don't have a main character complex. I've got such low self-esteem. I always just like the main character more, most of the time. That's real for not wanting to go on your own. Yeah. But I love Prime. He's really cool. I think my favourite used to be Hot Rod. I think, because I watched the 80s movie a lot. When I was a young chap. But I would also get really sad when Prime dies. Every time. Still do. Whenever I see that clip show up on anything, it's like, my heart, I can't take this. But I love Optimus. So I do want an Optimus figure. I don't know if I want to get the Studio Series one. I know there's a Transformers 1 Studio Series coming out. But it's like, if I'm going to get it, it either has to scale well with my Gundam, or it has to scale well with my Marvel Legends. Fate 6 made Hot Rod so cool. At the price of OPI dying. Yeah. And then in Transformers 5, he was there. He sure was there. That was a movie. That was a movie all time. I can't remember. It was last night. I can't remember the actual title. I'm just gonna load up campaign for a bit while I just yap for the next like 10-15 minutes before I end the stream. So yes, I want a Prime figure. I know there's an amazing Yamaguchi one, and the site that I get my Godzilla figures off had it, and they don't have it anymore. French Hot Rod, dude, that was a choice. That was certainly a choice. I'm at the beginning of the playthrough on that one. I'm just gonna load in my main one and just play random level. But I don't know if I want Studio Series, if I want some other brand. I kind of want like a higher end figure. I like, if I'm gonna get an Optimus figure, I want a good Optimus figure. And I don't know how good Studio Series is by comparison. I should probably just watch some YouTube videos on them. Love me a good figure review. I haven't made one in too long. I need to review the 1000 Toys Chief, because that is the one that I said I would do next. I've been holding it off for so long and I don't know why. And the problem is I've been getting like new stuff, So it's like I want to review the new stuff, but I can't until I've reviewed Thousand Toys Chief. Oh, I love this stupid game. It's not stupid, I love this game. That was awesome. Heck sent me too hot rod. I'm sorry, you want me off. It was just such a weird choice. I love the first and second Bay Transformers movies. And the second one gets a lot of flack. I'm not involving myself in the Transformers fandom. I'm not having people tell me that I'm not allowed to like Transformers 2. Revenge of the Fallen. Revenge of the Fallen. I'm not having people tell me I can't like Revenge of the Fallen. Because I just find that movie fun. The third one I don't like. They killed Ironhide. I watched them not that long ago. I don't know why I'm like acting as if I don't know what happens. It was Ironhide, right? Like, screw you, Sentinel. Actual scumbag. Hate that guy. But yeah, I just didn't enjoy the third one all that much. And then the fourth one. Yeah, Romeo and Juliet lore sure is cool. I know, like, I was still, how old would I have been when that first one came out? So I think that was something upon first viewing that I would have completely missed. That, like, I just would not have picked up on. So, like, that was only something upon rewatch where I was like, that's kind of weird. Why is that in this movie? Now, I think the introduction of the Dinobots is cool, but they are not the Dinobots. They are just dinosaurs. They are just dinosaur robots. I love Grimlock. Grimlock's awesome. He's easily one of my favorites because he's a T-Rex. And again, generic pick. I don't care. T-Rex is my favorite dinosaur. I love the T-Rex so much. I would kiss a T-Rex on the lips. I don't care. I don't care. But yeah, Grimlock was cool in that movie. I love it. I love the design, even though it looked nothing like Grimlock. But also that really just wasn't Grimlock. So like, the fourth movie had some cool Age of Extinction had some cool moments, but overall the movie kind of stinks. And then, the last night, I would call it the Dark Knight. When me and my family rewatched the movies to prepare for Beast War, Rise of Beasts, we skipped out on watching last night because it was like, we don't need to. Because one, Rise of Beasts has no correlation to these movies. Two, that movie stinks. My dad wanted to at first because he was like, I can barely remember that film, and I was like, good. Yeah, I'm not really liking them. But yeah, I mean, I like Transformers. Like, I'm not. Again, it's one of those. I'm not gonna pretend to be like some super fan. I have a decent level of knowledge. I remember there was the Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. I want to say it was like the movie tie-in game, and I remember playing that when I was younger. That was one of my favorite games at the time. I had a multiplayer that I could never find any matches on. But it had I want to say you could literally unlock the G1 episodes as collectibles. And I think that's how I started watching G1. Aside from the movie, I think I was literally watching episodes through the movie tie-in game. I could be making all of this up. I could be misremembering something. But that is, I think, what I did. I love this armor so much. It's so cool. I think I'm going to end the stream there, though. Because I feel like I've yapped so much now that, I physically can't yap anymore. I should probably also start maybe editing the hot takes video. But yeah, thank you all for watching and stuff. I appreciate it. Thank you everyone for yapping. I mean, I know it's not necessarily been a community game night in terms of, everyone playing, a load of matches and stuff. We honestly didn't get a ton of games in as a group. But the conversations have been really nice. It's been a nice change of pace. So thank you for watching. I appreciate it, and I'll catch you all in the next one.